Good day, everyone. Of course, before I formally start, I would like to ask you, how are you? How studying with these new learning modalities because of this pandemic? Well, we cannot do anything about this pandemic. It is already out of our control. All we have to do is to be flexible enough, be resilient, and just accept and let's try our best to adapt to all these new learning modalities. I know that most of us are still in this stage of adapting. Well, we are still culture shock of what happened and this modular modality, online modality, we are still all adapting and how we wish everything will be back to normal. However, while everything is not yet normal, we have to do something, right? We have to do a solution for us not to be left behind. That is why, in spite of this pandemic, we have still decided to continue our education, right? And moving forward, we are already now in our second quarter. Congratulations! And specifically, you will already have your second monthly test. Module 8 especially and Module 9, we still do not have the resources, right? And up until now, it is still very difficult for us to have access to those resources since some of us still do not have the electric power and we are still experiencing the weak internet connection, even those network connection like Smart, Globe, and all other network. That is why I have decided to do something for you to, for me to prepare you for our coming monthly test. I know how difficult it is for you to learn on your own because I know that even before during the face-to-face classes, we are still having difficulty even with the presence of our teachers. So how much more today that you do not have the teachers with you. But however, you have your parents with you who are very patient to guide you, right? So that is why we, your teachers, are extending the best efforts we can so that you will be helped in any other way. So this video recording will serve as review for all of you, and I will just do this real quick. So what will happen in this review is, or in this video review is, I will give you the preview of what are the possible instructions or types of tests that you will encounter in your exam. And for English 6, the coverage of your monthly test or second monthly test are the following. Module 7, which is about cases of noun, but that is just particularly nominative or the subjective case. And Module 8, which is about informational and factual text. And Module 9, which is about possessive case of nouns. So under this possessive case of nouns, there are rules you have to follow for you to form the possessive case of a noun.
For nominative case of nouns, we have 4 functions. Noun functions as the subject, or it may also function as the predicate noun. It may also function as the direct address, and lastly, it functions as the appositive. If you will look at sentence number 1, Betty Marie practiced hard every morning. The underlined noun is Betty Marie, and that functions as the subject or the noun that acts as the subject because it is what we are talking about in this sentence. We are talking about Betty Marie. While the second sentence, the underlined noun is ballerina, and that functions as the predicate noun. When we say predicate noun, it describes something more about the subject, and the subject here is the pronoun she, and the direct or the predicate noun, which is ballerina, tells more about the subject. What is she? She is a ballerina. And for the third function of noun under nominative case, we have what we call direct address. It means that it addresses the one being talked to directly. Look at example number 3 sentence. Oh, madam, I ruined it. And madam is what we call direct address. It is the one being talked to directly. To whom are you talking to? To madam. And for our last function under nominative case of nouns, we have what we call a positive. When we talk about a positive, it refers to the noun before it by renaming it. Meaning, aside from the noun before the appositive, it still renames it. Like number 4 sentence, we have Madame Nijinska. And the appositive here in this sentence is choreographer since it renames Madame Nijinska. Madame Nijinska is renamed as choreographer. And that is all about a positive. So those are the functions of nouns under nominative case. Let's recall. First is the subject. Second is predicate noun. Third is direct address. And fourth is a positive. So remember that although they are all nouns, they still do have different functions. And in your exam, you will encounter the type of test where you will identify the function of the noun and you will explain it briefly.
Alright, talking about Module 8, that is all about understanding factual or informational text. I also have included or indicated in your Module 8 the value or the importance of studying this topic. It is because we've been reading so many texts around us, maybe via our television, our social media, and all other resources. So the question is, are we reading the appropriate text for us, or are we benefiting from the text that we are reading? And that is why we are studying or we tackle this topic in this Module 8. Because you have to bear in mind that whatever you read, make sure that you also know how to filter the information you're getting, right? Which is true and which is not, which is helpful and which is not, which is appropriate for me and which is not. So therefore, in your type of test, you will be tested or you will be assessed if you know how to identify the facts or the information which are true and based on facts. So you will read a paragraph and you will be asked to enumerate or list down the facts mentioned or you have encountered from the paragraph or from the text. And for Module 9, that is all about the rules in forming the possessive case of nouns. There are 6 rules which are indicated and discussed in your Module 9. And the first rule of forming the possessive case of a noun is adding apostrophe s to the singular form of the noun. Example is ballerina's shoes. Ballerina's shoes. We just add apostrophe s because ballerina is a singular noun. And for the second rule, add an apostrophe only to plural nouns ending in s. So we are already talking about, or we are already dealing with plural nouns ending in s, like teachers. So teachers apostrophe room. Teachers room. You do not add apostrophe s. Instead, you only add apostrophe. And the third rule is about adding apostrophe s to the plural form of noun, not ending in s. So therefore, you have to distinguish plural nouns which end with s and those plural nouns which do not end with s. And one of these is men. Men is plural, however, it does not end with s. Therefore, when you form its possessive case, you will add apostrophe s. Men's clothes. And for the fourth rule of forming the possessive case of a noun, it is adding apostrophe s to the last word of a compound noun. What is compound noun? It is the noun which is made up of 2 or more words. Again, that is compound noun. Example is editor-in-chief. So for you to form its possessive case, you will add apostrophe s to the last word, not in the middle word or in the first word, but in the last word. Not editors-in-chief, not editor-in-chief, but editor-in-chief's review. And for the 5th rule of possessive case of noun is for nouns denoting collective ownership, the second word takes the possessive form, meaning there are 2 individuals who own a certain property, collective ownership. When we talk about collective ownership, meaning A and B's project, we will add the apostrophe s to B because they own one project only. There's only one project owned by the 2 of them. That is why you have to add apostrophe s to the last word or the last owner. A and B's project, apostrophe s. And on the other word, if it's not a collective ownership, if it is individual ownership, meaning there are 2 projects owned by each of them, so that will be written as A's, apostrophe s, A's and B's project. Got it? And for the last rule of possessive case of noun, for inanimate objects, ideas, and qualities, the of phrase is used to express possession. So therefore, for objects are still nouns. However, they form their possessive case by using the of phrase. What are inanimate objects? Therefore, those objects are not moving or do not have life, inanimate. They do not move at all. Example is light and car, or the light of the car. You cannot say car's light because car is an inanimate object, although what you mean is the car owns the light. That is inappropriate if you say car's light. So it is very important for you to recall, review, and study once again those rules of possessive case of nouns because those are really included in your monthly test. There will be a part where you will form the possessive case of the given nouns. And of course, I would like to remind you to read and understand very carefully and of course follow the given instruction before writing your answers. And of course, be honest, make sure that it is you who will answer your test, not anyone else. Everything is possible as long as you do hard work. Fighting!